Why does being involved, why does staying on top of these headlines from Washington Post or Fox News or whatever everyone's flavor is when it comes to veteran benefits?
You know, you bring up a really good point, Clay, and I'm going to, and no specific group out there, just pick whatever groups and pops in your mind. There's plenty of groups of individuals that have a certain goal. And the ones that get things done and the ones that are protected, we'll say, are the ones that are loud and on top of it. One of the things that I have seen over and over again with the veteran community is a lot of times we'll see something and just shortchange it. Just be like, yeah, that's nothing new. They're not gonna. They'd never do that. They'd never do that. And we don't make any noise about it, even when it's coming from a specific organization. Let's say like the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, right? So the Congressional Budget Office, for those that don't know, have put out basically they do this all the time, right? But it gives us an opportunity to see what the budget office is saying. And essentially, the long story short, Clay, is this type of a situation would be the Congressional Budget Office says we can reduce the deficit on the back of veterans, right? They give all of these options to Congress every single year, and they all suck for veterans because that's what they do. Hey, if you take what's really funny, Clay, is that they don't make recommendations. Imagine if you had a job that you got to go to that had to do with balancing the budget or reducing the deficit in some sort of way, but you didn't have to give any recommendations, just options. It would be so easy. Well, if you do this to those people, you'd save a lot of money. And if you did that to those people, you'd save a lot of money. And so that's all they're doing at the Congressional Budget Office. But I think to your point, though, Clay, is that we, as a veteran community, need to toe the line, if you will, when it comes to being attacked, whether it's something that would directly affect you or not, right? It might not affect me. Like, let's say the Major Richard Starr Act, for example, wouldn't impact me. My life doesn't change, but it affects one of my brothers or sisters, and I believe in it. Therefore, I think that we should all toe the line and have a joint message and say this is BS, right? If you believe in it, right? Not everybody always believes in whatever. So, but if you do, we need to voice it, because it only takes one time where your head is in the sand and you get whiplash because they pulled you out and said, hey, guess what? That's gone now. Oh, I never thought that was going to happen. And then when one goes, guess what? 2, 3, 4, change starts to happen. So we need to protect and preserve what we have, Clay.
Yeah, I always see veterans being involved as like a spectrum, right? Which is really funny, by the way. But on the max end, veterans, their spouses, their family members, they're super involved in their local community, their town halls, their governor level. They're calling their representatives. That's like the maximum amount of being involved. The minimum is simply just joining a VSO. Okay. I'm not a huge VSO, like national VSO level fan, but they absolutely have their place on Capitol Hill. You can see the VFW all the time testifying to HVAC, to the Senate, and they are truly the only veteran advocates that's doing that. I'm saying VFW generally, it's the American Legion, DAV, other national level VSOs. And so you kind of have this spectrum of, hey, joining a lifetime membership, especially if you get VA Consultation, you can figure it out, okay? Joining a lifetime membership just to your preferred national VSO is like the minimum standard when it comes to being involved. Maximum is just doing every single thing, being involved. And then of course there's a lot of leeway in that.